The adventure story begins with a goblin walking deep into a dense forest. This goblin looks very frightening, on a dangerous mission. The goblin has been summoned to that forest by something unknown, where a very large tree stands, majestic and grand on the inside. However, the place is completely dark because inside the tree resides a creature known as the Lord of Darkness, who seeks to control all of humanity and the universe. We hear the voice of the Lord of Darkness, saying that he wishes to become the most powerful being in the world. But my body cannot survive in the light of the sun, which is why I have to live in eternal darkness. This is a bad situation for me, as my powers are decreasing, and I must quickly regain them. In this quest, the Lord of Darkness has summoned someone. This is when the goblin we saw earlier arrives. The goblin, bowing before the Lord of Darkness, says, "What can I do for you?" "I will do everything you ask." The Lord of Darkness tells the goblin that he senses some powers around this entire forest that might be present in the bodies of creatures. However, he does not know exactly who this creature is, but he wants to collect all the powers to gain control over the entire universe. The goblin is astonished to think that such powers could exist that could provide strength to the Lord of Darkness and help him recover his powers. The goblin then asks his master, the Lord of Darkness, how these powers can be identified, specifically, in which type of creature's body they exist. The Lord of Darkness explains that the creature will have a pointed symbol on its head, which you can only find if you pursue innocence. The creature must have pure innocence and not be able to harm anyone. And now, the Lord of Darkness has given the goblin the task of bringing creatures with powerful abilities to this place so that the Lord of Darkness can consume them and regain his powers. The goblin, along with his companions, sets off far and wide in search of these creatures. On the other side of the forest, we see a beautiful princess named Lily. Lily is the princess of that region, and she is visiting her friend, Nal, whose house she enters to look around. While Nal is busy with her work, Lily starts exploring the surroundings. Suddenly, Lily has a vision. As she keeps glancing at the clock, there comes a moment when she sees the clock come to a halt and everything freezes in a layer of ice. However, after a brief moment, when her friend Nal calls out to her, everything returns to normal. Now, Princess Lily cannot figure out whether these events were just an illusion or a warning of some impending danger. For now, she doesn't pay much attention and starts talking with her friend Nal. Nal frequently compliments Lily's beauty and often tells her that now that she has grown up, it is time to find a prince for herself and get married. Lily feels very embarrassed by these discussions and quickly leaves. In the midst of the forest, Lily starts calling out for a man named Jack. A little distance away, we see the dangerous goblin watching Lily closely, along with some companions. Goblins have the ability to sense innocence, and they clearly sense the purity emanating from Lily. Therefore, the sinister goblins keep a close eye on her. Soon, after a while of Lily calling out, a tribal man named Jack comes to her. It is revealed that Jack has a special fondness for Princess Lily. He wants to express his love to her, but his courage fails him. Jack hesitates because Lily is very wealthy, and he, as a tribal man, lacks the confidence to propose to her. However, Jack always tries to make her happy and does everything to ensure she remains cheerful. Lily enjoys Jack's company very much. Jack asks Princess Lily to see something beautiful that will make her very happy. After leading her a short distance, Jack shows Lily a group of stunning horses with majestic horns on their foreheads. These horses, known as unicorns, are the creatures that the Lord of Darkness wants to capture and consume, which would grant him immense power. Blix, a goblin, has created a weapon with poisonous darts, intending to incapacitate the unicorns. The goblins and their companions prepare to attack, waiting for the right moment to strike the unicorns and take them to the Lord of Darkness. Lily is drawn to the unicorns, eager to touch them. Jack advises her to proceed carefully, as unicorns are fragile creatures. Slowly, Princess Lily moves towards the two unicorns standing together. Suddenly, one of the unicorns rushes towards her, startling her. She becomes scared, closes her eyes, and sits down. Seeing her adorable reaction, the unicorn stops and stands beside her, feeling safe. Lily gently touches the unicorn, experiencing it up close for the first time. Both feel immense happiness and safety in each other's presence. However, just then, Blix fires his poison dart straight at one of the unicorns. The poison dart hits its target, causing the unicorn to panic and flee into the forest with the other unicorn. Lily is terrified by this and rushes straight to Jack. Meanwhile, the goblins begin chasing the unicorns, knowing they will collapse from the poison, and then they will capture them. Lily shares her entire experience with Jack, explaining how wonderful it was to meet the unicorns. She decides that she will find a prince for herself and settle down with him. She then takes out a ring and tosses it into the river, saying whoever retrieves the ring for her will be the one she will marry. Jack becomes incredibly excited by this and determined to find the ring for her. Because Jack himself wanted to marry Lily and spend his entire life with her, he immediately jumps into the river to be the first to retrieve the precious ring for her. After finding the ring, he hopes to marry Lily and spend his life with her. Jack jumps into the river without hesitation and begins searching for the ring. Meanwhile, deep inside the forest, we see the poisoned unicorn struggling. The poison has started to weaken it, and it collapses in a spot in the forest. Soon, Blix, the goblin, along with his companions, arrives. They are tasked by the Lord of Darkness to retrieve the unicorn's horn, as it contains immense power. Without delay, Blix draws his sword and swiftly cuts off the unicorn's horn, taking it with him. The unicorn dies because the main source of its power, the horn, is removed. Blix and his goblins carry the horn directly to the Lord of Darkness, fulfilling the task they were given. Meanwhile, Princess Lily is very anxious, as Jack has jumped directly into the river, and now, for some reason, the entire river starts freezing over. Although Jack hasn't yet found the ring, he continues searching solely to marry Princess Lily. Lily is frantically calling out to Jack, begging him not to lose his life. However, after much effort, Jack manages to break through the ice and emerges safely. But, as he surfaces, he realizes that Princess Lily is no longer there. She has moved to another part of the forest. Fearfully, Lily reaches her friend Nal, who notices the temperature has dropped dramatically, causing everyone to freeze into ice. When Lily finds Nal, she discovers that Nal too has been frozen solid. She has died from the cold. Lily's gaze falls on the same clock, frozen in time just like the visions she had seen earlier. Although Princess Lily had no idea that these events would turn into reality, she was glimpsing a small fragment of the future, a vision of what was to come. If Lily had known this would happen, she would have warned everyone ahead of time. However, she paid little attention to these signs, and now everything had come to pass, as if preordained. We see that Princess Lily, who was hiding inside a house, soon discovers that Blix and his goblins have arrived outside. She spots them approaching and quickly finds a safe place to hide. Inside the house, Blix immediately brings the severed unicorn horn and begins performing a ritual over the mysterious-looking clock. The ritual was centered around transferring all the unicorn's powers into the horn. Blix repeatedly emphasized that they had seized a great opportunity by killing the unicorn and were now on the path to restoring the Lord of Darkness's powers and ruling the entire universe. Another goblin tells Blix that it was fortunate Princess Lily touched the unicorn, giving them the perfect chance to attack and incapacitate it. Princess Lily, who is hiding in the corner of the house, overhears their entire conversation. She begins blaming herself, thinking if she hadn't touched the unicorn, Blix wouldn't have had the chance to strike. She also starts blaming Jack for showing her the unicorn and sending her to touch it, which led to the goblins attacking. Lily begins to suspect that Jack might be working with the goblins, as he introduced her to the creatures that were now hunting the unicorn. Overwhelmed with guilt and sorrow, Princess Lily breaks down in tears, holding herself responsible for everything that had happened. On the other side, we see Jack buried under a layer of ice. However, he regains consciousness moments later when a group of elves, led by a creature named Gump, arrives. These elves help lift Jack and bring him back to consciousness. Jack, still in shock, wonders how he ended up in this situation, unable to grasp the magnitude of what has transpired. Suddenly, the weather changes, and snow begins to fall heavily. In the midst of this, a firefly named Luna listens attentively to their conversation. When Jack questions Gump, the elf, about what is happening, Gump angrily accuses Jack, shouting that it must be his fault. However, Jack explains that all he did was suggest to Lily that she touch the unicorn. Upon hearing this, the elves become agitated, raising their voices because no mortal is supposed to touch a unicorn in such a way. They believe this act to be an ill omen, a sign that things should not have happened this way. Meanwhile, neither Jack nor the elves are aware that one of the unicorns has already been taken by the goblins. They hurry to reach the unicorn that was left behind. Upon arrival, they discover that the unicorn is in a critical state, barely alive, as the goblins have severed its horn, which can only be used for the Lord of Darkness. The elves hold Jack entirely responsible, blaming him for allowing this to happen. They declare that Jack must retrieve the unicorn's horn and return it to the Lord of Darkness, as only by restoring the horn can the unicorn come back to life. Realizing his mistake, Jack agrees to help them. Gump, along with a group of his fellow elves, leads Jack towards the Lord of Darkness's cave. Along the way, Tom, another elf, remains behind to protect the two remaining unicorns, ensuring their safety no matter what happens. As they continue their journey, Jack and the elves come across a cave. Inside, they are guided by Luna, the magical firefly, into a hidden chamber. Upon entering, Jack sees powerful swords, armor, and countless pieces of golden jewelry. The wealth inside is immense, far beyond imagination. Suddenly, Luna transforms into a human form and reveals that this secret place belongs to them, a sanctuary for magic and ancient treasures. But don't tell anyone about this, because we have only come here to take the sword and armor so that you can fight Lord of Darkness and retrieve the horn, which will bring both of our unicorns back to life. Jack understood all of this, so he quietly put on the armor and took the sword, stepping fully prepared for the fight against Lord of Darkness. On the other hand, we now see Princess Lily, who was with the goblins and listening to their entire conversation. The goblins were discussing amongst themselves that they would take the horn of the second unicorn too, because Lord of Darkness would become more powerful only when all the unicorns of the world are killed. This was the reason they were killing the unicorns, to use the horns to make Lord of Darkness even stronger, 1 arrow, 2 targets. Princess Lily had now understood all these things, so she immediately set out to protect the second unicorn. There, Tom, the same elf, was present, who, upon seeing Lily, immediately attacked her. However, Lily tried to reason with him, explaining that goblins were planning to attack them and take the second unicorn too. But Tom didn't understand and began to accuse Lily as the enemy. Just then, all the goblins arrived at the scene and shot an arrow, knocking Tom unconscious. The goblins then used a large trap to capture both the second unicorn and Lily. They took them with them to present to Lord of Darkness. Soon after, when Jack and the rest of the elves arrived, they found that the second unicorn had also gone missing. However, Tom was still alive, and he shared everything with Jack and the elves, how goblins had kidnapped Lily and the second unicorn and taken them to the other side of the forest. Upon hearing this, Jack couldn't bear it and, along with the other elves, started chasing the goblins. They continuously traveled towards the castle where Lord of Darkness and his allies resided, where the goblins had brought both the unicorn and Lily. As soon as Jack enters the castle with the others, he suddenly faces a very dangerous witch who guards the entire place and prevents unknown people from entering. However, she immediately starts attacking Jack, but Jack is not one to easily back down. With the sword in his hand, he quickly strikes the witch and defeats her, advancing further. Jack himself is surprised at how he managed to defeat this witch without any training or skill. In reality, it was the magic sword and armor provided by the elves that allowed him to succeed. Now, with the help of all the elves, Jack begins to enter deeper into the castle. However, as they go further, the ground begins to crumble beneath them, and they all fall into a tunnel below. The group descends deep into the castle, where the temperature is significantly high, and darkness surrounds them in the domain of Lord of Darkness. Jack soon realizes that they are trapped behind a door, and its key lies on the other side. Jack immediately contacts Luna, the fairy, to retrieve the key. But Luna is furious because Jack had broken their promise of secrecy, and now the secret is revealed. She transforms into a human form, adopting Lily's appearance, and asks Jack to kiss her so she can be freed from this place forever. For a moment, Jack is drawn toward her, but he knows it isn't really Lily, so he quickly denies her request, preventing her from gaining her freedom. With the key in hand, the door is opened, and everyone enters Lord of Darkness's main castle. From a distance, they see the goblins, unicorns, and Lily standing right in front of Lord of Darkness. Suddenly, the voice of Lord of Darkness echoes, talking to his father, saying that he has grown very fond of Lily and wishes to be with her. He believes that if she joins him, his powers will increase significantly. And now, Lord of Darkness has decided to take control of Lily by using magic. Jack is watching all this, but he cannot directly attack because he doesn't possess the same level of powers as Lord of Darkness. Therefore, Jack has to wait for the right moment to strike. Here, Lord of Darkness creates a necklace using his magic, with the intention of trying to control Lily. For a moment, Lily attempts to wear the necklace, but then she realizes that it might be a trap. She quickly sets the necklace down. Just then, a strange figure begins moving towards her from behind. The figure is not fully visible and starts dancing with Lily. In the next moment, Lily is seen wearing the costume of the figure, dancing alongside her. These actions are orchestrated by Lord of Darkness himself. Now, the dangerous Lord of Darkness stands before her, asking her to join him so they can rule the entire universe alone. However, Lily does not agree with this because she refuses to side with evil. In order to save herself and distract Lord of Darkness, Lily says that she will do whatever he wants, but only if he allows her to take the lives of the remaining unicorns. Lord of Darkness finds this amusing because it's exactly what he wanted to do, and now with Lily suggesting it, his task becomes much easier. He laughs heartily and becomes pleased with her proposal. Meanwhile, Jack begins thinking deeply about how to rescue his princess from this dangerous demon. Jack soon learns that Lord of Darkness is extremely afraid of sunlight. If he steps into the sunlight, his entire body weakens. Using this information, Jack devises a plan with the elves to bring sunlight into the cave using reflecting mirrors. These mirrors will reflect sunlight into the cave, weakening Lord of Darkness. And all the elves have placed the mirrors in different locations, ensuring that sunlight enters and targets a single spot. The idea is to reflect the sunlight onto Lord of Darkness to defeat him. The placements are complete, and the mirrors are perfectly set up, waiting only for the sunlight to arrive. However, we now see Lily moving forward alongside Lord of Darkness to kill the unicorn. The elves begin to suspect that Lily has become like Lord of Darkness, embracing evil. They are determined to protect the unicorn at all costs and prepare to fire arrows at Lily. But Jack trusts Lily, so he doesn't let anyone fire. In the meantime, Lily, with a sword in hand, decides not to harm the unicorn. Instead, she frees it by breaking its chains, allowing the unicorn to escape. Learning of this, Lord of Darkness becomes enraged, but before he can attack Lily, Jack jumps in and starts fighting him. Lord of Darkness, furious, attempts to kill Jack using his dangerous powers. However, Jack is courageous and skillfully evades the attacks, moving to a safe spot where he cannot be touched. He then instructs his elf companions to bring the mirrors into the cave, positioning them to reflect sunlight directly onto Lord of Darkness. As the bright sunlight pours in, hitting Lord of Darkness, he becomes extremely weak and unable to endure it. Jack seizes this opportunity to use his sword to cut off Lord of Darkness's horn. With Lord of Darkness defeated, Jack throws him into a world that leads straight to hell, a place from which no one can escape. In the end, Jack quickly rushes to save Princess Lily, freeing her from Lord of Darkness's grasp. And with all the elves, Jack steps out of the shattered castle and cave, as everything begins to crumble. Jack, along with everyone, manages to fix everything, restoring peace and balance. Now, in the same forest, we see Lily unconscious while Jack searches the river for her ring. After much effort, Jack finally finds the ring, bringing it back to Princess Lily. When Lily regains consciousness, she is overjoyed to see Jack. She tells him that she had a strange dream filled with terrifying things. However, Lily has no idea that her dream was, in reality, a reflection of the events they just lived through, where Jack emerged victorious. Lily had promised that whoever found her ring would be her life partner. Therefore, she places the ring on Jack's finger, officially choosing him as her soulmate. Jack and Lily get married and begin their life together, filled with love and happiness. Throughout the forest, the elves celebrate the return of peace and joy. As they move forward, two unicorns appear, one with a broken horn that has now been fully healed and restored. The return of these two unicorns brings prosperity back to the entire forest. Unicorns maintain the balance of nature, and with their return, harmony is preserved. All the elves and unicorns express their gratitude to Jack for his contribution. Now, Jack embarks on a new journey with Princess Lily to live a life of adventure together. This adventurous tale comes to an end here.